Hi, my name is Danica, and this is how God revealed his love to me through forgiveness. So growing up, I didn't grow up in a Christian household, and my parents were divorced. I knew that there was a God, but I did not have a relationship with him at all. That all changed in 2007 when I was the driver of a fatal car accident that killed my boyfriend, Donovan. In that moment, I felt like I was also dead, that there was nothing else to live for. I felt like I had made the biggest mistake of my life that could never be redeemed. I remember feeling like I was unforgivable and hated. And I remember begging God to bring Donovan back to life. And when he didn't, I knew he wasn't real. And then God showed up in an unexpected way. Later that same night, Donovan's family came to visit me in the hospital, and the first thing that they said when they walked through the doors was that they loved me and that they forgave me. And then they embraced me in their arms. And in that moment, that was the first time I experienced the unconditional love of Christ through their forgiveness. And I never knew that that kind of love even existed. Donovan's family taught me the Word of God through their actions when they chose to forgive me that night. Their response and the freedom that I felt from it is what made me want the kind of faith that they had. Donovan may not have been brought back to life, but God gave me a life that I never knew I could have. And so in 2009, I decided to receive that for myself and made the decision to commit my life to Christ. And I remember God revealing a verse to me during that time out of Hebrews 13:7, and that says, "Remember your leaders who taught you the Word of God. Think of all the good that has come from their lives and follow the example of their faith." I remember when I was working at CVS Pharmacy, I had a lady come in my checkout line, and she was buying cards, and I made a comment that she was buying a lot of cards, and I asked her who she was buying the cards for, and she said she was buying a birthday card for her son who had just passed away 2 weeks before. And I just felt compelled to share my story with her. And I connected her with Donovan's family, and Donovan's mom and her got to just share that experience together. And a few years later, she came with her daughter to one of the traffic seminars I was speaking at. And she came up to me afterwards, and she told me that day at CVS in the checkout line that I had saved her life because she was thinking of committing suicide when she got home. And I'll never forget that moment. To listen to what God was telling me to do, to speak up and share my story with her, because if I hadn't done that, she may not have lived another day. And so I was so grateful that God orchestrated that moment and brought her to me again to be able to share that with me. So Paul urges us in Ephesians 4:1 to live a life worthy of the calling that we have received. That is what I hope to do through my life, and I know that I'm not perfect. I don't do it well, but my hope is that it would open the door for someone else to receive salvation the way that I did.